In our previous video, we covered the creation of template instances. Today our focus shifts to inheritance and nesting. When working with templates, N3uron offers us the ability to add a template instance as a member of another template, that is, we have the ability to nest templates inside of each other. This functionality becomes incredibly handy when dealing with large or complex data structures or when you want to combine multiple templates into one cohesive unit. To illustrate this, I'll be working with the tracker template we've been exploring in earlier lessons. But first, let's revisit the data provided by the OPC UA server for my PV plant. To do this, we go to the module instance, expand the menu, and select OPC browser. From the drop-down menu, let's select the connection. In this case, we only have one connection named OPC server. Let's expand the objects section, and you'll see that our plant comprises several cabins, each containing 6 trackers. Given this repetitive structure, it makes perfect sense to create a cabin template and nest 6 tracker instances within it. Now let's come back to the configuration panel. If we select one of the tags in the tracker template, like this one, and examine the tag's address, you'll notice that it includes a reference to the cabin it belongs to, in this case, cab 01. To make this more flexible, let's add a new custom property to the tracker template, allowing it to work with any cabin and not just cabin 01. To do this, I'll click this button to the right of Custom Properties and select New Custom Property. I'm going to call it Cabin. Now, let's update the 3 tags to use this new custom property. So, I'll start by selecting PositionDiff, and, in the Node ID field, replace cab 01 with the custom property reference. So I'll add double quotes here, a plus sign, remove cab 01, add cabin between curly braces, another plus sign, and finally double quotes. Now let's save these changes and repeat the process for the other 2 tags. Okay, with that sorted, let's create our cabin template. So I'm going to find the Templates panel, click the button, and select New Group, then Group. The first thing that we'll need is a name for our template. So I'm just going to call it Cabin. This template needs a custom property because it will utilize our tracker template, and the tracker instances need to know which cabin they belong to. So let's create a new custom property, and let's just call it Cabin. And finally, I don't need to set the value inside the definition. It will be set on each instance of the template. So I'm just going to save the changes. Remember, we want the cabin custom property of the tracker instance to inherit the value from our cabin template. To configure this, I'm going to modify my tracker template and add an expression, starting with an equal sign, and including the custom property of the cabin template I want to pass through, which is cabin as well. Note that when we're referencing a custom property, we need to include it in curly braces. So with that, I'm going to save the changes. Now, let's add the first member to our cabin template, a tracker instance for tracker 01. So I'll go to my cabin template again, click this button here, and select tracker to embed an instance, and name it trk01. And finally, I'll set the tracker nom custom property to trk01. Now we can add the remaining tracker instances similarly by right-clicking on trk01, and selecting duplicate. Now let's change both the name of the instance and the value of the tracker nom custom property value to trk02. And we could repeat this same process for all 6 trackers. For now, let's leave it at that and save the changes. I'll conclude by creating an instance of my cabin template. To do this, I'm just going to find the model panel, then click this button at the top, and select New Group, then select Cabin. I could just call this cabin 02 and then let's specify the cabin custom property value. So let's click here and let's just set the value to cab 02, then save the changes. We can see that our template instance has been created. And we check the real-time display on the left-hand side panel, we can see that all of the values are coming through successfully. That's a wrap for today's lesson on nested templates. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you in the next video.